Hey, new location. Oh, I cut my finger. Ignore that. We're filming in the daytime. We'll start off with a little lore, okay? When I was younger, I very much was a fanfic kid. I ate, sleep, breathe fanfics. I read so many. I made my own. I was top 100 on the specific rank. We're gonna rank the least embarrassing fanfics that I've read. This is not all of them. I know I said it was all of them in the title. It's not all of them because I don't want to embarrass myself. The sun's also setting, so I might have to switch to artificial light.
Eclipse. Don't close your eyes to get away. Just bang my line and I'll arrange it.
S tier is, you know, I read this and I'm proud. You know, like I'll let you know. Like I can tell you to read this even now. A tier is, anyways, turns on incognito. Carry on. B rank is why. After that we have the last tier is inaudible screaming. Inaudible screaming. If you see me looking down for any reason, it's because my laptop is right here. I was a shipper. If I watched something, I was shipping it. Bro. Twist and Shout. Twist and Shout is an S tier fanfic. I promise you, it is so good. It is so good. It's like, it's insanely good. It's insultingly good. My heart was built up, filled, cracked, fucking shattered. And all the girlies who were there, we all knew. We all understood that Twist and Shout was that fucking girl. Twist and Shout was the fucking beast, bro. And this was the supernatural fanfiction of the century. It really was. It really was. It had some spicy scenes. It had its fluffy scenes. It had its its wholesome scenes. It had a little bit of everything for a little bit of everyone. And it was fucking depressing. It was so depressing. If you were on Tumblr at this time, everyone was hyping it up. Everyone was like, oh my God, this is the best one, oh my God. And we were doing so for a fucking reason. So let me give you a summary since it's so good. So they meet each other, Cass and Dean. They first meet each other, they fall in love. Meant to be, it's spicy, it's fluffy, it's loving, it's everything, right? And then all of a sudden Dean gets drafted into the Vietnam War. What? Before that, they go on this little beach weekend. It's so cute. Key important part to the story. No problem. He comes back alive. He's safe and sound. But he comes back traumatized with PTSD. Oh my God. And you're like, wow, this can't get any worse. Oh, but it can, because they can't love each other the same way. And guess what? Dean fucking leaves because he's like, well, I'm hurting you and I don't want to hurt you, so I gotta go.
And I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Spoiler alert if you actually wanted to read it, but I'm gonna continue. Cass calls Dean after he leaves, right? This is like 9 months after. He calls him, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm fucking dying. And not like metaphorically, literally dying of AIDS. What? Oh my God. So Dean goes, right? He goes, talks to them. They talk about the beach scene and all this other stuff. And they're being all wholesome and cute. And he's like, oh, well, maybe I still love you. Nigga fucking dies. Dean's like, oh my God, he's fucking dead and distraught. And then he goes back to Cass's place. And Cass was writing letters to Dean the whole time while he was gone, Oh my gosh, I was dying. And then he had this one last letter that was like, I'm sad that I can't get you back the way how you were. I was afraid I was gonna love you more back then than I do now, and I can't live with that thought. I was like, yo. The saddest fucking movie. It felt like a movie. On what? On period. Read it. Twist and shout. Supernatural fanfic, Sam and Dean. That shit fucking ate. Now our next fanfiction. Let's play a game. Was the movie of the century. Yeah, all the girlies out here. Like, we were all like, ooh, because I had all the top YouTubers at the time, all the people that we loved at the time. We were like, ooh, this kind of ate, you know? It was a little corny, a little cliche, but you know, she was that girl. So, anyways, carry on, because it did eat. It was like the crossover of the century. It had like a little bit of everything, a little bit of everyone. Every ship that you thought of was in there. Every single one. But it wasn't about the romance. It was about adventure. It was revolutionary. So they get stuck in a video game by this evil guy who's trying to keep them in there. There was drama. There was twist. There was... Yo. If you were here for that time, you know what's up. You know what's up. Because if you were here, you know. That shit ate. No crumbs. Empty plate. Like, that's why it has to go where it is. It's not S tier, because it was corny, very cliche. But in its time, in its peak, it was peaking. It really was peaking in its peak. I was literally yapping for so long. I didn't even, like, the sun is gone. We got a good one next. It's moods. This is another fan fiction. Get it? Fan fiction. That's what we used to call it back in the day. Moods is good. It had depth. It had emotion. It had a good story. I have a thing for depressing stories. I just like a good sad story. If you can make me sad while reading in a story, that's how you know it's good. I can't lie. I be eating that up every single time. There was something that kept it from its greatness. Something that held it back a lot. And it was the damn stutter that this boy had. Yo, it actually like changes everything. Like, it was so annoying. Like, I was trying to get through this. I was like, yo, like, can you speak properly? Like, I'm not even trying to be like, oh, and I like, no, like, it was actually really annoying, because it was like, I just I really don't think it's, I'm like, bro. Because the thing is, if that was just his character and he just had that stutter, you know, no problem. It's the fact that the stutter came out of nowhere. Knock it off. Knock it off. And it's the whole book too. Like, it started out of nowhere and never stopped. It kept going and going and going, and I was like, oh, that's where we are. And because of that, it was a good story. So it does go in anyways, but incognito mode is turned on, certainly. Now this next one changes. For starters, had a great trope, enemies to lovers. We love a good enemies to lovers. But everything happened so fast. Like, one thing happened and it completely redirected one of their whole entire mindsets. And suddenly they were in love, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? I love a good faded meetings. I love a good silver string moment, but it needs to be brought in casually. It can't just be like, hey, I love you now. I'm everything that I've been doing this whole time was just because I didn't love you, and now I love you, so I'm gonna drop everything that I've ever done in my entire life and only be for you. Wrap that shit up. It wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. Like, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. It tried its best, and at the time it ate. But now it's not even snacking. This one died as fast as the fandom did. This one's a Septiplier one. That says everything it needs to say. This is going to go in inaudible screaming because that's what I was doing while I was reading this. Screaming. Ooh, the next one. You're gonna see a trend with these subtler ones. They weren't that good. They did not age well at all. The first offense was those annoying short chapters, and it was weird, and it was fast, and it got, let's just say, excitable off rip. And I was like, okay, whoa. And see, at least Changes had a little, you know, like, it like, there was a speed, it was fast, but it wasn't like boom. This one, it was one chapter, homeboy is in a happy relationship, living his best life. Next chapter, he forgot about his relationship. He's like, I don't love you as much as I thought I did. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? To remind you, these chapters have one, like, the short little, like, conversations. Can't lie, I was invested in the drama a little bit. I was invested in the drama, but there was this weird jealousy arc, weird love triangle thing going on. I was very confused. Yeah, I would say it was worse than Changes, and it will be an inaudible screaming because instead of inaudible screaming, I was screaming in real life. So this is love. Ooh. I'm not just singing that because I'm Beyonce's sister. I'm singing that because that's what this one was called. It had drama. It had love triangles. Can't lie, I was eating it up. Girl best friends. Can't lie, I was eating it up. It was like a Your Name type of the vibe. Ooh, it was good. It was kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, well, what's gonna happen next? The story didn't really make the most sense. It was corny, not my tea, but it was a little bit my tea, you know? Like, I was kind of eating it up a little bit. I was doing this little thing, and I was like, okay. I was invested, but at the same time, it made no fucking sense. And because of that, it goes in why. They're not that bad. I feel like we should bring back fanfiction culture because there was nothing wrong with it to begin with. I don't know why we were hating. I don't know why we were bullying. Actually, I do know why. Bring it back nonetheless because I am pro fanfiction and I will always be pro fanfiction. And that's on period. That's the end of the video. And hopefully you didn't die of cringe like I did. And if you want to read any of these, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you a link or anything. You will have to find it yourself. Under no circumstances am I letting people know that I read this. No, except for Twisted Shout. R.I.P. for the sun. We are creatures of the night. Deuces.
Junior wants to not be on my ex-strippers, new killers, shot, tell 'em